All right, y'all, what up, what up? So this is going to be a video to my determined people. Listen. Okay, so this is how it goes. So growing up, I didn't have a whole lot. My mama made it a lot, and I didn't know that we were struggling, but we were. That's one thing about these black mothers and other people of other races. If you had a mom or a parent or parents who really took care of you, even though when you grew up, you realized we really didn't have a lot, but y'all made it a lot, right? So I grew up like that. It was me, my mom, and my brother. For her to be a single parent, we always had, our own rooms. I saw her go to bed, hungry. And I'm not talking one time, y'all. She went to bed hungry so me and my brother could eat. I remember a lot of things from my childhood, just seeing how she struggled. I remember her crying because she didn't get a job. And so seeing my mama struggle like this and then realizing that we didn't have the family that my friends had at Donuts for Dads and things like that. They got a daddy in the home with them. It's just me, my mom, and my brother, right? So I can say since like the age of five, 6 or 7, somewhere around that age, 7 at the latest, I realized I wanted to have a better life. I wanted to give my mama a better life because I saw her work hard for me. So I always wanted more so I could do more, right? So that put in a hustler's ambition in me and just that determination to get out and get it, right? So, of course my mom ended up dying or whatever. And I mean, that ambition didn't go nowhere, I always worked. I was a kid who couldn't wait to turn 16. I couldn't wait to turn 16. I was mad because I couldn't work earlier than that. You know what I'm saying? If I could have worked before then, I would have worked before then. But you already know how that goes. But yeah, I couldn't wait to turn 16. So I've always been a go-getter. I'm going to get mine. You know what I mean? I ain't waiting, nobody to give me nothing because I grew up in a home where my grandparents were old school. We ain't buying you no Jordans. We ain't buying you no Polo. So when it came time for me to get my own, oh baby, it was up. It was up. And everything I wasn't able to get before, I was able to get, not only just for me, but for my brother too. You know what I'm saying? Buying his school clothes and stuff like that. Like I look forward to doing stuff like that. I've always been a person who's wanted more so I could give more. Not just for myself to just store up goods for myself, no, but I want to be able to give back because I know what it's like to struggle, right? I came from places where they had rats and roaches. You get what I'm saying? Like I come from that. So I didn't have a whole lot growing up, but again, my mom made it a lot. My great grandma, my aunts, them, they took care of us. And my grandparents as well, they gave us a stable home. I'll never knock what they did for us. But so my whole life, when things got hard, when I was going through some things, I ran to the hustle. I knew who God was, but I didn't have a relationship with him. So I ran to the hustle. I was always like, if I could, I remember when I became an Uber driver, DoorDash and stuff like that in college, right? Once I saw that you can work and get paid that same day, it was up. Entrepreneurship was what I knew I needed to be in, right? Because man, like Uber showed me I can make the first time I made like $500 in a day just on Uber, like for one night. It was over then. It was over then. I said, man, I ain't clocking in ever again. I can work and get paid the same day and I'm getting paid good money and I can repeat this. Man, I was making so much money at that time, like just doing like ride share, Grubhub and stuff like that, because I'm like, man, I've never been in a position where I can get paid like this, right? At the same day. And so that really just, really elevated that hustler's ambition. Like now I really got to go out and get it. Man, if I could go all day long just hustling, I would. And God knew that about his daughter too, right? So when he was pulling me out of the life of sin I was living in, things started to dwindle down. Y'all, I went from making so much money and always having money to it was like I knew that something was going on. What is really going on here, right? And so that's when I knew. That was one of the first telltale signs that God is really calling on me. And he knew how to get my attention. He knew, like I'm trying, he tried the small ways, the simple ways, right? But no, he knows how to get our attention. And so I'm saying all of this to tell y'all, give y'all a little backstory of me or whatever. When you're living for Christ, we are no longer in the world system. This whole thing of toiling, I got to grind for mine, I got to hustle and get all of this. Let me tell you something, this bag chasing theory or whatever, let me tell you something. God can make it to where he will really sit the bag in your lap. He can sit the bag in your lap. You ain't got to work for it. You ain't got to toil for it. Not saying that we ain't supposed to work or whatever. I'm not saying that. But God can create a way out of nowhere to where you ain't even got to do all of that. You thinking you got to figure it all out. No, you don't. Y'all, regardless of what we went through in our past lives, that's the past. That's not where we're at now. And I have to remind myself of that too. You are not where you were before. You don't have to worry about things like you used to. You have God now. You have God who owns the whole world, man. Wealth is nothing to God. If he wanted me to have it, I'd have it. You get what I'm saying? We got to think about it like that, y'all. So when you determine, God will sit you down. He will make it to where he tell you, no, you're not working a job. You are going to trust in me. Trust and believe me, he'll do it. People like, I don't think God will say that. I don't think God will do that. Yes, he will, because he did it for me. Before things got up and running with my business and insurance, yeah, God sat me down for a good while because I really had to understand I don't depend on money and people and things. I depend on God. I'm supposed to only depend on God. And so anything that we idolize above him and make a God above him, because money was a God to me. Money, women, my weed and my alcohol, those were gods to me. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. So, nah, you're not gonna have no other gods before him. He will dry it all up and bring you to your knees before you think you about to put anything above him, y'all. So, to all my determined people, give that over to God. Give that over to God and let him refine it, because that same determination, you can use that determination for the kingdom of God rather than worldly possessions, y'all. And even in the kingdom of God, don't think you got to constantly always be doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to rest in the Lord. It's okay to slow down and just rest and reflect and just enjoy life, y'all. We don't always have to be going like a hamster wheel. Relax in God for real, y'all. He doesn't want us going like that anyways. He did not design for us. That's the world system. The world system wants you to work like a rat going around the wheel 24/7. Grinding. I got to grind. I'll sleep when I'm dead. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Y'all, that's not biblical. That's not biblical. So I know this is a long video, but I say all of that to say this, man. To my determined people, let God have that. Let God have that for real, y'all. I'm just reminded right now of Peter. Like, if you read through Peter's story and how Peter used to turn up, he cut the man ear off in front of Jesus. Peter wasn't to be played with. Peter was very determined. But God had to refine him. You know, the Lord had to refine him and rebuke him like, no, Peter, you can't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and God will do the same thing for all of us, y'all. So if you are that determined person, rest in the Lord. Give that over to God. He knows everything that you went through, and he knows exactly why you are the way that you are. He knows our life stories. He knows that we had to survive. He knows that we couldn't depend on people. We had to go, you know, and get it for ourselves. He knows that. But we're not there anymore, y'all. Let the past go and let God mold you into who he's called you to be. Because at the end of the day, he gave us that determination too, y'all. He knows what he's put in us. That's a gift. You know what I mean? But we got to use it correctly. Let God refine you. I love you.